6 a.m. and we're right in front of the Vietnam-China border in Lao Cai city.
Our hotel was like just 300 meters from this border. There in the far you can see some gates and all. I don't know if they can see.
Yeah.
There, that's the border.
So we're up early here and it's actually opening up only at 7 a.m. but we've heard that there's usually a big rush in the morning, so that's why we got here early. As you can see, the traffic's just starting to move around here.
We're gonna be the first ones in the queue.
Hopefully. But we came here yesterday from Sapa. We spent the night here and the plan was basically to get here early in the morning and get to the immigration office and hope to cross over as soon as possible. We have a pretty long journey ahead. If we do get to cross over within the next few minutes, actually we don't even know how long it will take, considering we've heard that sometimes it could be as quick as 5 minutes, sometimes even more. But the plan is to show our visas, get to immigration and get across to the railway station so we can take the first train that we can get on all the way out to Kunming. Kunming is about 5 or 6 hours north from here. This border city on the Chinese side is called Hekou. So that's where we're planning to head now.
There's a lot of things we have to do starting from now. First is exchange currency. Second is pass through immigration. Third thing is make our way from the immigration border point till the railway station. Then the fourth thing is buy the tickets, which we still don't have. And the fifth thing is figure out how we'll stay connected to the internet.
So a lot to learn on our first day. China is definitely a very intense learning curve. So hopefully we're able to figure this out quickly.
Let's go.
Even though it's 6 a.m., the crowd is really big and it's super humid right now, so everybody's just fanning themselves. I think we better get in line. Thank you. We've just now finished our exit procedures on the Vietnam side and now we're walking up to no man's land, which is a very short, like 50-meter stretch, and it looks super grand. I think this is one of the grandest border crossings we've seen, just by the side of the buildings.
Massive. Ni hao from China.
I think this must have been one of the most interesting immigration experiences we've had. When we got to the queue on the Chinese side, there was easily like 100 people in front of us just in our one line.
That meant we would have had to wait at least for 1.5 hours minimum.
But then we got bumped up all the way to the front of the line just because some kind immigration officer saw us and figured we are probably going to take the train to Kunming, and she was like, what time are you planning to take it? And we said the earliest train is at 8:45. If we make it there, then we'd like to take that. So she immediately got us to the front of the line and we got stamped right through in like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they did ask us a few questions besides verifying our visa, what our itinerary was and what we plan to do after we complete the route. So they asked us where our last stop is, and that was going to be Beijing. And then they said, so do you have a flight out? We said, no, we'd like to head further up to Mongolia. So we showed them the e-visa for that. And they also verified the hotel bookings for the first night, which is in Kunming. And that's how we go through immigration. It was a very, like I was like super skeptical because of, you generally have this perception, but they kind of broke it.
Yay! I was just checking my phone if there's any Wi-Fi around, and as soon as I open it, you can see you have to scroll 3 times. That's the number of Wi-Fi is available here.
We'd heard about this before, that almost every other place has Wi-Fi running and you sometimes don't even need to get a SIM card because of how connected you could be. But we've also learned that the internet isn't the same way as it is back home in India or other parts of the world. Things are a lot more difficult to access over here. So that's why yesterday we had to sign up and get a VPN, which we did. And we've linked it down below in case you also want to get the same VPN. But we'll let you know more as to whether it works or not as we progress through the country. It's probably too early to say much.
Now it's 8:45. I'm sure we are late for the first train, which would have left by now. Our next train is at 1:30 in the afternoon. So now we are figuring out our way to the bus stop so that we can catch the bus to the train station.
Yeah.
支付宝到账100元。OK。建议扫
Okay.
Success.
Yay, our Alipay worked.
So we made our first Alipay payment. So all we had to do was download the Alipay application, then link our Visa or MasterCard from back home, and we linked our usual Visa, and then all we had to do was scan on this, and then we paid. And then now she's helping us with the SIM card. What you see behind us there is still Vietnam. You can actually see that the river, which is the Red River, it's a Chinese river that passes into Vietnam. It separates the two countries here. So everything you see on that side is
Vietnam.
Lao Cai.
This side is China. And we say Ni Hao.
We're now at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. And after immigration, we got our SIM cards. It was a very, very straightforward process, but it just took a bit of time because
Nobody
we're struggling
speaks
to
English
translate.
here. Like everything works on Google not even Google Translate. The translation apps also are very difficult to find here.
Yeah.
Which one are we using? We're using the
Microsoft.
Microsoft one.
So Microsoft is the probably one of the few Western companies that operates sort of fully in China. And the reason why the internet works differently here is basically there's a lot of censorship based on what kind of content comes into China. So it's not wrong to access information outside, but the country basically filters it. And people who need to access this internet from the external world need to use a VPN. So we signed up for that VPN, and when we got this SIM card, got on the internet network, turned on the VPN, everything's working. We're also able to WhatsApp. I just sent my mother a message saying we've reached China. Shish also sent it back home.
There's another app which I'm using. I think it's a Chinese app called Dangi. In that I can send messages, video call, audio call, anything I can do just like WhatsApp. But the only thing is the other person on the other side also should have the same app. So that's how I'm communicating with my parents.
So with VPN, you can use all your traditional apps. Without the VPN, you'll need specific apps that don't have this issue with the firewall. It's funny how in China they call this whole internet thing as the Great Firewall. It's sort of like the Great Wall of China, but the Great Firewall of China.
On the Translate app, the person who was selling us the SIM card just wrote telling, can you please climb over the wall and come out?
So that was very hilarious,
Funny.
but so helpful. The lady was super helpful. We had so many questions. We didn't want to pay for the standard tourist SIM card. We wanted the cheapest one, and she helped us find the cheapest one.
I think it was 100 yuan, and it will give us 100 GB of data for 2 months. But this data is split for like 50 GB during the day and 50 GB during the night.
This is from China Telecom, right? Yeah, China Telecom. So it's one of the big telecom providers here. And it was also the one that most people recommended on the internet. So anyway, now we are set up. That behind us is Hekou town. Now the plan is to find the bus that goes to the train station. Although we do have a SIM card, we are still not fully set up to buy tickets on apps like through our own phone.
Because all the apps, they don't have English. It's all written in Chinese, which is very difficult for us.
Yeah.
So we need to take help of some local, or I'm guessing if we go to the train station directly, we can buy it directly.
So hopefully we can do that now. And once we get to the train station, we just sit for a little while until the train is ready to take us to Kunming.
One thing I'm relieved is that all the tasks we had to do in Kunming, we've already achieved it in Hekou. So it's little relaxing
SIM card,
now.
Alipay set up. Now we're able to use money.
We have some cash,
So
we have internet, we have VPN, we are free.
all right, let's go. So there's definitely no little bus around here. We've been reading on the internet that there's a little green bus that goes around between the train station and town. But for the last 30 minutes or so, the bus never came at this station point or the bus pickup point. And everybody we asked said, go in the taxi, go in the taxi. I don't know, maybe it was a case of miscommunication, but there could be a bus on some other route here. Anyway, we are on this taxi now. We tried to book it on the app on Alipay. There's no Uber here in China. It's called Didi, but yeah, it didn't quite work. So the next best option was to hand taxi. So we did that. spiderweb. We're at the Hekou North train station.
We made it to the train station. In here in China, whenever they want to say north, they say bay. So this station is Hekou Bay, which means it's in the north of Hekou town.
And from here, we'll go inside and get the train tickets, hopefully to Kunming.
June the 3rd, 14:30. Hekou North to Kunming Card C2.
Passport.
Have you ever bought a ticket in your passport before?
I'll pay with a Visa card.
Yeah.
What to pay? Card. Visa.
Now we're trying to pay with a regular Indian Visa card. The whole idea was to check if they can actually accept payments from traditional means, like what we are used to, in case Alipay doesn't work and we have to use our card to buy train tickets.
I'm sorry, our credit card machine is broken. Can you pay by other payment methods?
Okay.
Is there a different machine we can use? We are okay to wait for some time and then pay.
有没有别的机器可以用？我们可以等一段时间再用。
It worked?
Yeah. 1297.
No extra charge?
No. Okay. GG.
Shishi. We chose to pay with the Visa card and not Alipay here because Alipay has a limit of 200 yuan. So any payment over 200 yuan isn't free of charge. There's a 3% fee. So we chose, that's why, to try to use a Visa card at the train station. If a Visa card works, then we could actually use this card to make payments for train tickets which are more expensive than 200 yuan, which seems to be the case for all these train journeys beyond Kunming. Quite a few of them.
I think this train journey is one of the cheapest ones we can take in China.
That's true. And we also managed to get the slow train. That's why it's cheaper. The fast train is about 90 yuan per person for what is supposed to be like a 4.5 hour fast train ride. For a slow train ride, it's about 6.5 hours.
Yeah, and also they have two kinds of seat. One is the hard seat and one is the soft seat. Obviously, the hard seat one is the cheaper one, which we took. And the soft seat one was also there for, I think, 20 or 30 yuan.
We're now going to board the train.
We have to go to platform number 2. The train arrived just 2 minutes back and it's going to stay here for just 5 minutes. So we have to board in time, otherwise it's going to leave us.
And waiting. Hello. So while waiting, we also found out that we just... Shishi, thank you. You're from Kunming. While waiting, Shish and I just discovered that the wide-angle lens for this camera got lost. I think this must have happened while we were passing through security check at immigration or here.
It's this tiny little lens which gets stuck like a magnet to the cover of the action camera, pocket camera actually. And then we don't know where it fell. I didn't even feel it nor
Yeah. It's a very, very tiny thing. It's as big as a fingernail, just a bit bigger than that, but it's magnetic. And we were supposed to slap it on this camera to get a wider view, but we never used it because it had a very weird fisheye effect. But anyway, while passing through immigration or through one of those security machines, it got lost. It was worth 5,000 rupees or about $60. So it hurts. What is that, Shish?
That's the bullet train. You said it would be hard seats, right?
Yeah.
It looks soft. I got away the seat. We're finally in our seats. We thought it will be crowded with a lot of people, but we get 2 entire seats just for ourselves. Both of us have a window seat now, and the train just started moving. They kept telling that the seats will be hard seats, hard seats. I was imagining like a metal seat, but actually it's cushioned and it's nice. And it's air conditioned. There are 3 seats on this side, 2 seats on the other side. Both the sides get a small table. They even kept a plate if you want to use it for something.
It's almost 7 p.m. now, and we're only about 90 kilometers away from our first stop in China, which is Kunming city. And while we've been on this train, we've been super hungry because we haven't had breakfast, lunch, or anything in between. And just when we were talking with our new friend, this is our new friend. So we just met him on the train.
From the past 1 hour, Navneet and him, they're just chatting using Google Translate, and it was so interesting.
So we've been asking about where to eat in Kunming, what kind of food we can get. I think we've just been dreaming so much about food. He said, let me share something with you, and then he shared his.
2 of
we
them.
both got pastries. Shish. I haven't tried it either, I don't know.
Try it. You try.
One.
It's like the Indian friends but coated with sugar.
Yeah. It's exactly like fried Rice Krispies but with sugar instead of salt. It's actually not too bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've reached Kunming! From the 38 degree Lao Cai city to the 14 degree Kunming. It's very, very cold. And clearly all our jackets, sweaters, everything is in the bag.
Now the plan is to get out of the train station, make our way to the north side of the city center, and that's where our room for the night is. We booked it on trip.com. It's kind of like booking.com, but it's a Chinese platform. So we found good deals for rooms there, and now the plan is to find a subway, right?
Yeah.
So we have to find a subway, get on it.
Oh, look at that double-decker train.
Oh, that looks fun. That would be fun to get on.
Also, we just learned that in Kunming you get spicy vegetarian food.
So the plan is now to get some food quickly. We might not vlog it because we are definitely in a bit of anxiety as to whether the hotel will let us check in so late. So we'll see you guys again in tomorrow's video. Bye. I can't believe we found vegetarian food at 10:30 in the night randomly on a street in front of the hotel that we're staying in. But this is our first meal in China.
Chipsy. Noodle.
Can you go? No, it's called a slow train. Back inside a tunnel.
Ah, yours. Oh my god.